Ngare Ndare in Samburu language means water for the gods. Located at the foot of Mount Kenya, the lush indigenous forest stands out stoically, with trees as old as 200 years. The forest has withstood the test of time. Besides being an indigenous forest, Ngare Ndare is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The leafy canopy is home to a variety of bird and animal life.
Of all the water that serves that the wildlife, the communities, and their livestock comes from this forest.
It is through its vital corridor that the herds of elephants are able to move from Lewa Wildlife Conservancy to Mount Kenya Forest. But this was not always the case. Vegetation cover dipped in the 1980s when farmers carved out farmlands on the southern side of the forest, escalating the case of human-wildlife conflict, which had become the order of the day.
So there was a huge cry because coupled with human-wildlife conflict and then the illegal activities like harvesting, the forest was under threat.
Mani msitu ulikuwa unaharibiwa sana. Watu walikuwa wanaenda kuokota kuni wanaharibu. Sasa hata hawakuwa wanajua maana ya msitu. Walikuwa wanaharibu msitu sio kama wao ni wa serikali.
Water became scarce, land barren, gradually becoming bare, thus productivity declined. To reverse this trend, the community, with the help of corporate sponsors, formed a trust through which more than 1.5 million gum trees have been planted, which now provide firewood.
Ngare Ndare forest touches on their livelihoods. They survive on food cooked with firewood from the forest or from trees that have been developed by Ngare Ndare Forest Trust. Of course, the support from Safaricom. All their domestic water comes from the forest. The amount of rainfall has actually improved as a result of increased afforestation.
Na ndio naona huku kwa ile miti unaona kwa community kwa wingi. Tangu wakati huo imekuwa imepandwa na community. Sasa akina mama wengi hata hawaendi msitu.
Honey from the beehives are a source of livelihood for women and youth groups. They also provide security for the forest.
So tukapata pesa kidogo, tukanunua mizinga ile tuko nayo ni ya kisasa na ni vizuri inachika nyuki haraka sana na harvest inakuwa haraka sana. So inakuwa tunatumia asari, unajua asari ni kama ni kitu tu ya Mwafrika anapenda sana mambo ya asari, wengine wanaamini ni dawa.
The forest is now regenerating after an aggressive reforestation exercise managed by the community.
And that's how we have been able, through that effort, to be recognized as one of the few forests in Kenya with ever-expanding canopies. They stopped going into to fetch firewood from the forest on many occasions, and they would be available to do other household chores. So that was actually one of the benefits.
Ngare Ndare is the only indigenous forest in Kenya with an expanding canopy cover.
The forest itself is an indigenous forest, and it is not a plantation forest. And we encourage to plant the other species exotic in the community around on farm.
Some of the ancient African olive and red cedar trees within it are thought to be 200 years old. But the peace that the community enjoys would have been elusive had they not saved the forest, had they not realized that wildlife needed a habitat as much as farmers needed farmlands and pastoralists pasture and water. Now the catchment of River Ngare Ndare is blooming and the community around has a better coexistence with the wildlife. For EcoWatch, I'm Judith Akolo.